Squeaky, squeaky. What's up, YouTube? It's a beautiful sunny day, but believe it or not, I woke up this morning and everything was covered in snow. And you can still see a little bit on the back side of that pile. Yesterday, everything was covered in snow. We got snow Sunday night and Monday, and everything's just kind of been a swamp and nasty. And yeah, so I've been working around the shop a little bit today. Didn't even think that I would get out here and mess with Barney, but I decided, why not get out here and mess with it, because it's kind of drying up. I mean, it's super warm. This hoodie, that's too much laundry right now. But anyways, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna mess with the brakes, because I've got to have one of these lines backwards. These down in here going down to the brake chambers, I was able to replace those with what was originally there. You know, I had something to go off of. But this stuff here had been cut right here. And so they were all the same color, I think. They were different colors up here, but here I think they were all green or something. So I wasn't able to figure out exactly where all this stuff went, and I had to get fittings, and it was a big mess. But anyways, so those should be hooked up correctly. It's this that may not be correct. Get in here, you can see it. I'm thinking I may have these two backwards, because when I hit the brakes, they make their noise. They make, but what's not happening is these aren't moving. Ethan adjusted them the other day because the brake pressure is off of them or whatever, or on them, or I don't know, however he did it. So, but they're not moving. So what we need to do is possibly switch these, and I'll get you guys to help me watch, and we'll see if they'll move once we switch them. If so, then we'll have that figured out. The front should just be backed out. They shouldn't be, I shouldn't have to worry about hoses or lines or anything on the front. But on the back, it's definitely not doing what it's supposed to do. And whenever I flip the deal in the dash that does the park brake, it doesn't even make a sound. It doesn't do anything. So I feel like something has to be backwards. I'll try and get you guys a good view. See, I've got red and then like an orange, which may have supposed to have been the same. This one here by itself, it's a larger line, goes into the top of that, comes out here, and I've got it run to the big hole right here. And then the other two are, that's these two right here. So I'm thinking that maybe they're backwards. Let's see. Oh, can I do it with one hand? I did. How do, Barney? How you enjoy the snow? Oh. Hard to climb up here with one hand. That's still 3 points of contact, so do I knock this out of gear? Yeah, we're good to go. All right, let's fire Barney up. Well, at least it starts. Anyway, so what we're gonna do, let it build a little bit of air. I'm gonna stick you guys down there and let you watch for me. We're gonna see if they're moving, if they're actuating or not. And if they're not, then, because I mean, it doesn't seem like they could be. When I stood on the brakes the other day, it didn't do anything, nothing at all. So we're gonna see if they're moving. If they're moving, then maybe it's something else. Maybe it's an adjustment or something. Maybe they're adjusted the opposite direction for some reason. Well, you guys let me know if they're moving. If they're moving, then it's something else. If they're not moving, then we're gonna try and switch those two hoses and see if that changes anything. All right, you guys watch. What I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna wiggle the park brake a little bit, see if it does anything, and then I'm gonna do the brakes. All right, gonna flip the park brake a time or two. Park brake on. Park brake off. Nothing's changing on my gauge, my air pressure gauge, so. Park brake on. Park brake off. All right, so now we're gonna pump the brake pedal in, out. in, out, in, out. All right, let's see what that did. So I've seen it move a little bit. I don't know, I feel like it should move more than that. Maybe not, maybe it's slow. I'm really not even sure it's going the right direction. So what I'm gonna do with it off, I'm gonna release all the air off of it. And I'm gonna switch them and just see if it does something different. It's like it's barely moving. Did find a spot right here where this was leaking. I've never had it leak there before, but it was today. So I just snugged it up a little bit and it stopped. So hopefully that's good enough. Okay, hopefully this gets you guys where you can see. I do just have that clamped on there. I might just pull this thing out. Oh, I got the croissant wrench. Some of you guys are cringing. Some of you guys are like, yeah, round that brass fitting off. You know. All I gotta do is break them loose and snug them up, right? I guess that's what a wrench does. There's no room in here for such a large wrench. Oh. Denied. Denied again. All right, let's just pull this out here where we can fiddle with it. I've got it clamped out here now, secured. This is the one that said no, but it's gonna say yes. All right, what I'm gonna do or plan to do is just switch these. I think I've already said that way too much. Gently now. These are new hoses that I installed. All right. New fittings as well. They didn't have enough of what I needed, so I ended up having to buy like a $250 kit or something. It may have been more than that. I know I ended up going down there. It may have been a lot more than that. I think I came out of there spending like $400. And I had to call Ethan. I was like, dude. What's this cheap horsepower you keep talking about? No such thing. No such thing as a free dog. This wasn't free either, but you know. Hopefully this will change something drastically. In a good way. The old croissant wrench. It's like every wrench in one. All right, so for all intents and purposes, or whatever that means, no reason I can't clamp it right here instead of down there. It looks like whatever it was screwed on there with, the bolts are broke or screws or something or other, so that's just another project. Let's build some air. While we're waiting for Barney to build some air, Rod C327 said something about the wet stacking or whatever, that it might actually be, because that's a lot of oil, seems like. I mean, it does clean up. But anyways, he's got some really great videos on some engines, or at least one I know that he's building. So he thinks that my issue is the seal between the two pieces of the piston. Like they're a two-piece piston on these, so like the sleeve and the head of the piston are, you know, they're separate. There's a seal that goes in it. The older ones were metal, and now they're replacing them with like a rubber O-ring or something like that. So I'm gonna have to check into that. But if you want to see what I'm talking about, you can check out his videos. They're pretty good. All right, truck's a little over 100 PSI. So I'm actually going to shut it off and listen, because at first it wasn't building air. And when it wasn't building air, it's because I had the brake off. So I feel like we got air coming out somewhere. This probably isn't right either. So first I'm going to throw the park brake off. See, it's blowing air out. With the park brake on, I still shouldn't, I don't know. I shouldn't have. Of course, if it's not hooked up, we're gonna go ahead and pump the brakes, but let's see what they do. See if something's correct. I hear something moving. Sounds like they're doing something. All right, let's see what we got. Actually, go ahead and throw the park brake. See if I can catch this before air is blowing out of right here. A little gasket right there. I guess the gasket's bad. There wasn't any air coming out of it before, but whenever I set the park brake, air comes out of that. So maybe this is my park brake and it should have been here. I don't know. I have no idea what this stuff is supposed to be. I've built up some air pressure again. And what I'm gonna do this time is, even though it's going to leak, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it into off on the park brake and then see if the brakes move whenever I push the pedal. We'll see what happens, because I may just have a blown seal on that, and this could possibly be correct. And some of you guys might explain to me how wrong I am, and I am stoked for the information. So, flipping it off, it's gonna start leaking. Now, we're gonna hit the brakes. What's it doing back there? You guys watching? Flip the park brake back to on. See, I hear it moving there. Everything stops leaking. Yeah, let's see what that did. Well, that seemed to work. It's actuating like it's supposed to, I believe, unless it's backwards for some reason, which I mean, the air can only go in one side, you know, so it has to be moving correctly. So my guess is that I think I've got it right, unless one of you guys knows better. If you do, leave me a comment. I want to know. But the seal inside of here is blown. It's coming out this corner. It's probably because of this janky bracket someone put on here, because this one busted. So they put that on there and did a poor job of holding that down and clamping it correctly. So since this is broken, we will probably build a new bracket for this, pull that apart. I don't know if that's going to be a diaphragm. It could be a blown diaphragm. I'm not really sure what exactly is in there. I figure it's probably just an O-ring seal that goes around the outside. And if it is, we'll get an O-ring that fits it. So if it wasn't for that leaking, we could potentially adjust the front brakes and then have brakes on Barney and be able to drive it and stop it. I would love to be able to stop. That would be fantastic. It'd be another step in the right direction. But daylight's fading and I don't have an O-ring, I'm sure. So next time we'll just have to open it up and see what's in there and see if we can fix it and maybe adjust the brakes. Hopefully it's something we can fix. If not, it's something I gotta buy, right? So thanks for watching and God bless. Check you later. Ooh, little side note here. This one right here is blowing air out of it. But it's coming out of the bottom. Like right there. So, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's just because it's low and it releases it or something or what. But hopefully somebody will know exactly what that is and why air's coming out of it as well. Be great. What's up, YouTube? Nope, not ready. I'm just not ready. What's up, YouTube? It's crap. No, we're still gonna do it though.